Myrtle Beach High School for the second of our doubleheader tonight. The North Myrtle Beach Chiefs hosting the Socastee Braves, as the Lady Braves of Socastee won the opener tonight. And now the Braves are trying to make it a clean sweep on the year, as the Lady Braves swept the Lady Chiefs in their 2 outings this year. And now Socastee's trying to do the same over North Myrtle Beach, who, as the girls did last night, played at Conway and against the number 6 ranked team in the state, came close. They had to foul at the end. It was a 3-point ball game, but the Tigers ended up winning by 9.
Well, the first game Conway played against them, it was a 35-40-point game, but Josh Livingston was at the game last night, was hitting threes, and he was the difference. Could be a big part of this tonight. Hits them from way downtown.
Yeah, Livingston did not play against the Socastee Braves the first time these teams met, and he is averaging 20 points a game on the year. And, of course, Chris Johnson is averaging 12 points a game for North Myrtle Beach. Let's look at the starters for the Socastee Braves first, as they'll start in the backcourt with Tyler Rainier, a 6'5 junior, Marcus Hemingway, a 6'2 sophomore, and Najee Foster, a 5'9 junior. The front court will consist of 5'10 sophomore Kendrell Jenrette, if you can call him a front court player, but you certainly can Jason Cudd. Maybe one of the tallest players, if not the tallest player in the state, 7 feet 1 inch, Jason Cudd. I'm sorry, Ashley, I'm going to have to turn the crowd mic off at all. This is one of the loudest PA announcers in a basketball gym that I've ever heard. But Jason Cudd, 7 feet 1 inch tall. He's only a junior, but Tyler Rainier has taken the place of Andrew Gardner. The 6'5 sophomore has started every game this year until now. So he has been replaced in the starting lineup, but look for Kendrell Jenrette to light it up from way downtown to try to match senior center Josh Livingston for North Myrtle Beach from outside the arc. Starters for North Myrtle Beach, 0. Chris Johnson. Mike Gore is number 1. He's a senior point guard. Kevleek Bennett is a junior swing forward. Maurice Finch, a sophomore point guard, and the senior center is Josh Livingston, but he will float out to the three-point line, as you said, as he hit some big ones last night.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like a traditional high school three-point shooter, but he gets out there, hangs around, and he'll hit from anywhere on the court. He'll also take it to the hoop, and he's going to be the difference maker. Like you said, he didn't play the first game against Socastee. They're going to have to account for him tonight.
And Cameron Kaler is the head coach of North Myrtle Beach. He's trying to get his team off on the right foot here in 2016 after playing well last night against Conway, trying to pick up a victory at home against Socastee. The Braves, under head coach DeAndre Scott, trying to even their record at 7-7 on the year, as Jason Cudd will control it to Najee Foster in the backcourt. Of course, we saw the Socastee Braves 3 times in the Beach Ball Classic. They lost all 3, but chance for them to start 2016 off right after beating Waccamaw on Tuesday night on the road.
Well, that Beach Ball Classic makes them better. They'll see no team like Mount Vernon. They'll see no teams that like they played. So tonight should be not an easy for them, but more to a competitive level.
Yeah, you and I saw them play the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Montverde, who went on to win the Beach Ball Classic championship, but they were pushed in that championship game by St. John's out of Washington, D.C.
So would you say Socastee had a bad draw?
Yeah, 70-point loss. That was a bad draw. They tried to force feed the post to Jason Cudd, but Livingston turns around with a jump hook. It's an offensive rebound and putback, though, for Chris Johnson.
And Chris Johnson was not intimidated by Cudd down there, so look for them to go right after him.
I like that. Johnson averages 12 points a ball game, and he starts with the first 2 of this one, and then the pressure in the backcourt causes the turnover by Socastee.
And North Myrtle Beach is very athletic. They'll use that press to their advantage, and they'll get some easy points coming off of that press, too.
So the Chiefs with the first 2 and the basketball right back off the turnover by the Braves. Between the wheels, it goes left side. Lighting up the 3, swish! From outside the arc by Kevleek Bennett.
Had to be a rainbow shot.
And another turnover, the second in a row by Socastee before they even get up a shot.
Well, Najee Foster's playing into the hands of North Myrtle. They want him to dribble the ball around. You need to pass the ball and break that press.
Actually, that is 3 possessions and 3 turnovers by Socastee. Only one of those was forced, though. The very first possession, they got a steal in the lane. And now the Braves on a 3-on-2 break, but is it going to be a 4th turnover? Not yet. It was close. Marcus Hemingway had the ball raked out from behind by Mike Gore, but he couldn't catch up to it on the baseline, so the Braves will get it back. Baseline left on their end of the court. Hemingway inbounds to Rainier. Outside to Jenneret. Jenneret lights it up. Good! That was Aeneas Green, though, who just came in the ball game. Green breaks the drought for the Braves. Almost 2 minutes without a bucket. They cut North Myrtle Beach's lead in half.
Just like that. It's like getting field goals in football. 3-pointer, boom.
There's Hemingway, or make that Livingston. Livingston hits another triple. After 6 last night, he starts with his first one tonight. He missed his first shot inside. It may have been too close.
Socastee needs to spread out a little bit more to break that press. They're too close together. It's easy to guard.
Rainier, 6'5" junior, outside to Hemingway. Now to Green, far side Jenneret. Inside Cud. Has it raked out of his hands, but he's
getting physical down there, banging a little bit. I like to see that. In the Beach Ball Classic, I don't want to say that it was too big for him.
Yeah.
But there were some good basketball players at that tournament, and I want to see him get a little physical.
Jason Cud is improving game by game. Off the glass, nice shot by Tyler Rainier. Cud could have been called for an offensive foul as he banged into Livingston, but Livingston was called for the reach-in on the rake-out.
And by all accounts, he's still green. He's still learning the game.
There's a traveling violation. Nice call by Trent Lupo. And we played almost 3 minutes, and the home team up by that Livingston trifecta. Chiefs with token pressure in the backcourt. 10-second count is on, but they get it inside to Rainier. He reverses the pass up top. Green now to Hemingway.
They got 2 guys banging on Cud every play.
Fakes a shot, but a nice post entry on the weak side. And Tyler Rainier has back-to-back buckets, and the Braves are within 1.
It's almost like they're using Jason Cud as a decoy.
They are. And put him at the high post and leaves that back door open. Livingston went one way, the pass went the other. So back-to-back turnovers by North Myrtle.
Kind of starting out a little bit like the girls' game, Al.
Socastee with a chance to take their first lead. Hemingway. The Rainier in the left corner. Post entry to Cud. Cud puts it up off the glass, and the Braves are in front. 9-8. And there was contact on that shot, but no whistle.
It looks like they're going to let them play a little bit like they did the girls' game.
I like it. I told the officials, put the whistle in your pocket. Let them play. Cud comes out trying to block the three-point shot. It's around and out. Getting his own miss was Kevleek Bennett. And then Bennett reaches in, tries to steal, but loses it on the end line.
Cud has a lot of blocks in the season, but those shots right there that he's making them shoot to the rafters is almost better than a block.
2-2-1 zone press by the Chiefs. But Aeneas Green cross-courts it. Shot up by Jenneret on the run was no good with the right hand. And the Chiefs will lead with a made bucket here. Trying to get the lead back, but Cud rejects it. Foul was committed before the shot. I don't believe he'll be in the act on this one.
I stood beside Cud before this game, and I stood by Sammy and Simeon Haley back in the day, and that's the last time that I've been overshadowed like that. That's a big man right there.
Cud is legit 7 feet, as were Simeon and Sammy for that matter. They were legit 7-footers.
There were more point guards at 7 foot than Cud.
There's a long three by Livingston, in and out, no good. And pushing the tempo Up and under. Hemingway thought he got fouled, but the Braves get the offensive rebound, and then Livingston yanks off the second miss.
A lot of contact.
Dribble penetration into the lane. And the double pump shot is off the mark. And then the outlet pass is deflected by North Myrtle Beach. And Cameron Kaler inserts Merrill Moss, replacing Kevlik Bennett. A high post pass is rejected. They tried to get it out front, but Cudd was in the way, and we've got an offensive foul pushing off by Chris Johnson. Cudd has blocked 2 shots, but both of them were after fouls, so he doesn't get credit for either one.
Well, that's opened up a can of worms when you call that first offensive foul, because you can almost do it both ways on that.
No doubt. 2-2-1 pressure. They get it into the front court. Aeneas Green with it. Far side, Hemingway. Between the wheels to Jenneret. Green. No shot clock in high school basketball, so they work it around the arc.
And Cudd's working hard down there. They're not even giving him a look.
Yeah, I've talked about that, and they tried to enter the post, force feed it to Cudd, but hands in the passing lane by North Myrtle Beach. Outside, wide open for 3. Johnson, too strong. And Jenneret, up above the crowd, takes it coast to coast and scores.
Right down the lane. What an athletic move.
Braves' biggest lead is 3. And they're extending their defense now in a zone, trying to keep North Myrtle Beach from getting it inside. When you got a 7-footer like that, though, you kind of want to force them down inside and make them challenge the big man.
I would take my chances. My dad coached girls basketball. They had a real good girl, and she touched it every time. If you're a good player, I would have Cudd touch the basketball at least once. Let him get involved. So you don't want the big man to go to sleep down there.
And Gardner's in for the first time. And Jason Cudd shuffles his feet as he catches the post entry. And Gardner looked for him. And I talked about that with Van Coleman last week, that sometimes in some games, because I've seen the Braves play about 5 or 6 times this year, in some games they look for him every trip. Other times they don't even bat an eye his way. And he gets the rebound, 3-on-1 going the other way. Hemingway loses it, and Livingston comes down with the errant shot.
You got to get the big man involved.
Inside a minute, now in the first quarter. Chiefs can tie it with a 3. Merrill Moss was looking at it. Now to Gore. And there's a block shot, and Cudd comes down with it.
Gore just looked up. Where did it go?
He tracked it down himself. Reach in, no whistle on Kendrell Jenneret's teardrop attempt. Dribble drive into the paint. Right side of the lane. And a blocking foul. Looks like it's going to go on Gardner. Nope. It's going to be on Aeneas Green. There's 2 fouls each here in the first quarter. I like the way this is going inside the last half minute.
Yeah, I like physical basketball. Like the Knicks, I like when they were banging people around. I like high-scoring games. I like to play the defense and hit the shots. And
it's not been, overly physical. It has been a little bit. I mean, there's been a lot of contact, but nothing that will lead to, I think, anger either way.
And not that basketball is a contact sport, but when you get in that paint, you better be able to handle yourself.
Oh, it's a contact sport, believe me. 27 seconds left, and 0 for 1, 0 for 2, and Cudd with his 3rd rebound here in the first quarter. Najee Foster back in the ball game. Foster gives it to Jenneret. He's been known to light it up from downtown. Bounce pass to Gardner. Gardner to Cud for the two-handed stuff.
That's what you got to do. Get the big man involved, getting some confidence.
And Gardner has looked for Cud both times. He's caught it on the wing. Here's Livingston for three at the buzzer. Takes a trip around the hole and comes out. Braves lead it by 5 at the end of 1. Stay close. Myrtle will have it. Down by 5 to begin the second quarter of play. Najee Foster in for the Braves now. Alex Collins for the first time. Livingston outside, 3 on the way, around and in. That was Jason Hager. Hager hangs one from downtown.
That's the equalizer for the Chiefs. If they can hit those shots, they can run with Socastee tonight.
They've got to. Alex Collins, 5'11 sophomore, seeing his first action here in 2016. Gardner, he likes to shoot it outside as well. Off the glass, too strong. Tipped up and in, though, by Alex Collins. I like his activity.
The hustle play. You got Cud out of there. You got the younger guys, the smaller guys in there knocking it in, fighting for it.
3 for 2. 4-point advantage for Socastee. Livingston high outside. Maurice Finch. Finch to Johnson. Johnson. Hager takes it hard to the hole this time. Block shot by Andrew Gardner, and he's called for a foul. A little too aggressive coming down to block it.
Well, they have a tall front court with those guys, 6'5", 6'5", 7'1", can battle with anybody in the state down there.
And going to the free throw line is Chris Johnson, looking for his 3rd point of the ball game.
I'm looking here, Gardner only a sophomore.
Yeah, Gardner is immensely talented, but his decision-making leaves a little bit to be desired at this point in his development.
That's where it's real good to have a coach like DeAndre Scott and that great staff that they have to help him make the better decisions.
But he's got a great body.
He passed the look test.
I'm telling you, he has the talent. There's no question. He's going to be terrific. I mean, he's a major college talent. You can just see it when he's got the ball in his hands. If he would look to drive a little bit more, he likes to dial up long distance a lot.
I see Coach Illing in the stands for Socastee, kind of looking at him as a defensive end.
Yeah, he doesn't like contact too much. That's the reason he doesn't play inside as much.
Not a lot of them do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. Braves give it up. The Chiefs trying to make it a one-possession game, but a palming violation.
And that could really be called every time.
Every time.
Every time. That's another can of worms. I don't know
you want to get in. Unless it's just blatant, and it is blatant a lot.
It is.
You just got to ignore that because it doesn't, unless the offensive team gets an advantage by that, I would never call it.
No, never open that can.
Jason Cud back outside for Hemingway. He sat down for a minute. Najee Foster gives it to Gardner. He loaded the gun for 3. Decided not to pull the trigger. Here's Cud with a post entry off the glass. That's the agility that they're working on with him. A year ago, he couldn't do that. Well, he couldn't catch and finish.
That was a nice 2-step move. A catch, finish, had Josh Livingston all over him.
And he blocks the shot here, his 2nd of the first half.
And he's involved in the basketball game now. Give it back to the big guy.
Exactly. Feet
right now, give it to him.
Reward him at the other end.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. And they're going to try. Gardner will look for him.
He's shaking his head. He's out there, guys. I'm 7'1". Let me touch it.
Collins to Gardner in the left corner. Cross-court pass to Hemingway. Hemingway, I think, needs to look to shoot more, as does Foster. Foster can make that 3. Hemingway doesn't look to shoot as much. He's not a high percentage shooter, but he's got to keep the defense honest. Inside block. This time not by Cud. It was Gardner. And a travel by Foster.
Yeah, the coach wanted some contact there. There's no contact. That was just a good block by Gardner and Cud down there. The Twin Towers almost.
The sophomore Alex Collins takes a seat. Returning to the game is Kendrell Jeanneret. This was the starting 5 for the Braves for the first 10 games of the year. And Gardner has not started the last couple. And Livingston had it raked away, and then he kicked it and couldn't track it down before it goes out of bounds, sideline left. So Jeanneret, Foster, Hemingway, Gardner, and Cudd, their normal 5 in the game. And a blocked shot. Livingston blocked a 7-footer shot clean. And Hemingway fouls from behind on the attempt.
Well, Cudd right there, he got the ball down low to his level. If he kept it up, like we were talking about the young lady from North Myrtle Beach, I think there's nobody that can stop that shot.
Yeah, Livingston has good hops, but not quite that good. But you're right, he brought it down to him, and he was in control, Livingston that is, and was able to block the shot. And Cudd, again, still does have trouble finishing right underneath the basket, but he's got a really good mid-range jumper. He has a soft touch on his free throws. So from 14 feet in, he's really, really good. Improved dramatically in the last 12 months.
Well, he's got one move down low, and I think North Myrtle Beach has kind of figured out what he's going to do. He's going to dive into you a little bit.
High ball screen set by Cudd, and they enter the post to Gardner. Gardner to Cudd. Cudd with his second jam here in the second quarter.
And what ball movement. And again, the big fella's involved. He's yelling at his teammates, getting them up.
And I like Gardner involving the big man and looking to give it up. He wasn't doing that earlier this year. Ball is deflected but recovered. And Jeanneret can't finish. Another 3, wide open, count it again. And that's the second by Jason Hager here in the first half.
And nobody in his face. You got to get in his face.
And cuts the lead in half. The Braves had their biggest advantage at 6 points, but one shot makes it a one-possession game. Gardner, there you go. 3 on the way. He got it. Told you he can make that shot.
He's got a lot of space there. Take it. And again, he needs to touch the ball next time down. They got to get him involved. They're looking to pass before they shoot.
Problem is, Gardner can make the 3, and I like him shooting the 3, but he thinks he's open when he crosses half court.
A lot of guys think they're open.
He thinks he's in range. And an up and under by North Myrtle. Good job answering back the made field goal by Gardner. 5-point game, make it 4. And they enter to force feed Jason Cudd, and it's deflected. Gardner's going to take a seat just when he was starting to get.
I wish they would.
Now, look, okay, now that's the good move by DeAndre Scott. He was calling for Cudd to sit down. Gardner was coming out, saying Gardner was just getting into the flow of the game. You need to leave him in there now.
Right.
And Coach Scott saw that.
It's a great point. And back to Cudd, I'd like to see them throw the ball, lob it up to him, let him go get it.
Yeah.
Don't throw it down to him.
No question.
It's tough to catch that.
And Hemingway, as I said, not a high percentage shooter, but he goes in and gets the rebound, and he's tied up going back to the hole. But I like the aggression of Marcus Hemingway, but Hemingway has got to shoot it to keep the defense honest for not just backing off of him. If he's not going to shoot it, they're going to back off of him.
Now look what Coach Kohler did. He answered that chess match, putting Josh Livingston back in the basketball game.
I'll tell you, I like this Jason Hager. If he's open, he'll nail the three-point shot. He's 2 for 3 from the field, and both of his field goals from the bonus sphere here in the first half. And we got a 4-point ball game with 2 minutes, right at 2 minutes to play. Gardner, see what I mean? He is open from 30 feet.
Way downtown.
He thinks he's in range from that distance, but that one might have been a little bit outside of his range. And then a nice job by Johnson to draw the contact on Gardner at the defensive end.
Yeah, that's a tough shot from where he was at. He was a good 5-6 feet.
Now, he can make it, but that's not his shot. He needs to step in another 2-3 feet.
I can do a lot of things sometimes.
Yeah.
But
He thinks he can.
In the flow of the basketball game, it's still a 4-point basketball game. You want to be able to take the shots when you can get the shots. It's almost they're shooting, they're thinking they're not going to get the basketball back.
Right. And Gardner, he knows Cud's not in the ball game now, and he feels a little more responsibility at that point. But that's the point guard's responsibility to distribute or make sure that the people that need the ball in their hand, and that's what Hemingway has to learn. Hemingway's only a sophomore, too, the point guard. He's got some size at 6'2". He's got I love his handles in Marcus Hemingway. He needs to be a little more of a playmaker, a little more of a guy that's in control of the contest and his teammates rather than, just being a guy that's out there on the court. And at times, you just see him kind of floating and passing, not being the playmaker that he can be. And a couple of foul shots make it a one-possession game for North Myrtle Beach. Kind of feels like the Braves have, taken a comfortable lead, but you look up and it's a 2-point contest. Gardner may have got away with a walk, tries to enter the post and turns it over. The Chiefs pushes it. And Livingston, 2 misses, and the third attempt is good.
Very resilient basketball play by Livingston.
And we are even again with a buck and a half to play here in the second quarter. Diving for it, jump ball, alternating possession to North Myrtle Beach.
That was a big collision with Gardner over there with that pick, and Coach Kohler wanted a foul but didn't get it. But you're talking about playmakers. Beach Ball Classic opened my eyes to Nate Georgeton.
Oh, yeah.
And from Moeller High School, how valuable he is to that basketball team. If North Myrtle Beach or Soxie had a player like that could distribute, that would just take some notes from him. Good play there.
And 3 straight field goals by the Chiefs have given them the lead. First lead since they were up 8-7.
Looks like they took their punch to start with.
Jason Cudd double pumps, got the defender off his feet, and then scored it easy underneath.
A different move from the first 3 that he had earlier on in the game.
I like that. Showed the ball, got the defender off his feet. Livingston, got to guard him beyond the arc. Chiefs, that could have been a palming violation right there. But he got away with it this time. Johnson outside, Livingston, long ranger, got it! Livingston drains it from the bonus arc. 3-point lead on that shot. Cudd, and they don't put enough air under it again and turn the ball over.
You turn a 7-footer into a 6'6" guy. Right there.
Great point, Ashley. And here's a block shot. Oh, no. And the horn sounds as the play, and if it's a foul on the shot, we're going to have 2 free throws before we go to halftime. That's what Coach Kaler wants. Kaler says that is a shooting foul. Even though there's no time left on the clock, it should be a shooting foul. And it is going to be a 3-point attempt. Jason Hager is going to shoot 3 times, and they're going to put 0.2 of a second on the clock, and that means that Sockasty can only throw it the length of the court and tap it in. They can't catch and shoot.
At the beginning of this game, we're really starting the second quarter. If you'd told me that North Myrtle Beach has an opportunity to be up 6 points going into half, I'll tell you crazy.
I totally agree. The way Sockasty was controlling the contest midway through the second quarter. I mean, they were up by 6, in complete control, had the ball, were scoring at will, and now North Myrtle Beach has a chance to go up by a half dozen with two more foul shots, make it 1 more, and Hager is on target.
Interesting pre-shot ritual he has there.
2 shots from 3-point land and 3 at the foul line, so he is a 3-point machine. And Sockasty is going to go in down a half dozen 30-24 as North Myrtle Beach scored the last 10 points of the first half. 30-24, North Myrtle Beach, the home team, in front. And we'll take time out, come back in 2 minutes with your halftime. North Myrtle Beach scores the last 10 points of the first half and takes a 6-point lead at intermission. And we are courtside at NMB, and now we're with the head man of the Chiefs, the principal here at North Myrtle Beach High School. I've been begging him for 3 years to come talk to us on air, and finally we corral Trevor Strouderman. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm great, Alan. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for having us up here. First Grand Strand game of the year, or game of the week for the new year, and your team got in a hole through the second quarter, but you being a basketball guy, I know you know that Coach Kaler draw it, a few things, and you got right back in it and took a handily lead here at halftime.
Well, I'll tell you, Alan, and when you get teams that are closely matched, which I feel like these two teams are, it's a game of runs.
Yep.
And we just happen to have the last run right there before the half, and hopefully we're going to have the last run of the game, because I feel like that's probably what it's going to come down to.
I tell you what, I love the mural you have out in the hall outside the gym here, outside of your office, and you got a young lady on there that I'm very familiar with, known her since she was a child, or she's really, to me, she's still a child, but since she was a baby, Bailey Watkins, and she's been a star of your programs here, the
drama and
drama.
chorus.
Thank you, drama. I was trying to think of the plays and the musicals that you guys have put on here, and you got other athletes and academians on that mural with you. You got just a well-rounded group here and a great staff.
We do. We have some great students, and as you know, it all starts with the adults, and we have a great group of people. I've been here 7 years, and we've built a really good team, and I tell people all the time, I think we're the best kept secret on the Grand Strand.
Well, and good people with great hospitality. Every time we come up here, you guys treat us wonderfully. I can't thank Joe Quigley and the athletic director and your staff enough. You guys have been, just awesome to us. And you're right, you have built a great group here in the years that you've been. And it's been 7 years since you've been the principal here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, Alan. It seems like yesterday. I guess it was about 20 years ago when I came to Socastee High. So
yep.
Time flies. But you haven't changed a bit. I mean, you still look as you did.
Yeah, that's
true.
It. No, I look about 20 years older is what I look like. Now, did Dr. Browning hire you at Socastee? Was he there?
I was there 1 year prior to Dr. Browning.
Okay, 1 year prior to Dr. Browning. And then, of course, Trevor came as a basketball coach at Socastee and teacher, and then got into administration, and understand you love it.
I love it. I've always loved working with kids. That's why I've loved coaching. I've loved teaching, and being a principal. I still get a chance to work with kids every day, and never really felt like I've ever had to get up and go to work. So that's been a blessing. I love what I do, and I couldn't be happier. Very lucky.
That is awesome, man. It's great to talk to you. It's great to see you.
Always
again.
A pleasure, Alan.
I know. I love when I come up here and just get a chance to see you, and you never come by and say hello, so I'm always the one that has to come get you, man.
Well, hey, I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you guys coming up here doing this, and this is a class act, and the show's great, so we're very lucky to have you guys up here to do this.
I think we're back up here one more time before the year's over.
Great.
All right?
All right.
Thanks, Trev.
Thank you, Alan.
All right, Trevor Strouderman, principal here at North Myrtle Beach High School, good friend of mine. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back with the second half. Stay with us on the 18, and North Myrtle Beach, having scored the last 10 of the first half, takes a 6-point lead. They were down by as many as 6 in the second quarter, but flipped the script at the end, and as Trevor Strouderman said during our interview there, it's a game of runs, and it was started. North Myrtle Beach had the first run of the ball game. The Braves took their first lead at 9-8, and then really had control of it midway through the second quarter, so it appeared. And then all of a sudden, North Myrtle Beach got on a run. Jason Cudd was out of the ball game, and they took full advantage inside.
Well, I like the way they were going inside, but also with Cudd out of the ball game, they could go inside then outside to hit those threes. And they played as a team that last 3 minutes of this first half. They came out, passed the ball, didn't care who scored. Socastee, on the other hand, seemed like they were having some some individual issues to where that they were like, okay, I'm going to score, I'm getting the ball, nobody's passing me. So they're going to have to start playing as a team, start playing for the name on the front of the shirt, not the back of the shirt.
Well, we've got 16 minutes to play and a 6-point home team lead, and they'll have the ball. Actually, Socastee will have the ball first in the road black tonight with the gold numerals and trim, and North Myrtle Beach in the home white with blue lettering and gold trim. And Socastee turnaround jumper by Najee Foster, off balance, falling backwards, didn't even draw iron.
Coming out of the break, you got to get a good shot off.
Better shot than that for sure. Jason Cudd pulls it off the cup after a nice dribble drive by the Chiefs. Got up a good look, but it wouldn't go down. They're looking for Cudd in the paint now, but like you said, Ashley, you got to lob it up to him. He gets double teamed on the spin and a foul. Second on Livingston in the paint. Coach Kaler and the Chief Faithful disagree.
Well, you're going to get that foul every time. The way that their bodies hit, they're going to call a foul. I don't like the way they put the ball on the floor. That would be another teachable moment. Get a little jump hook there. It'd be nice.
So Cudd, as I said, nice touch on his foul shot.
It's going to be an interesting angle to shoot a foul shot.
Yeah.
I almost want to stand on a ladder just to see what it's like.
And even though it's almost a line drive, it's very soft. That one hits the back iron and ricochets out. So 1 point. Cutting into the lead.
Socastee in the man-to-man.
A wide open three. And he got the roll. Climbed up and over. It almost was deadened by hitting the front of the rim and then died into the hoop.
We said earlier, North Myrtle Beach is going to have to make those threes, and they've done it so far.
Certainly have, and foul on the drive along the baseline as they tried to cut off the dribbler, Kevleek Bennett. Corner jumper is short. Socastee has missed everything, and transition bucket for Bennett. Socastee is struggling from the field right now. And that's Hemingway missing from underneath. Ball batted around. Cudd goes up with it. His shot is blocked. He gets it back, tosses on top. North Myrtle Beach getting hands on everything right now.
Very active on defense.
To the bucket. Bennett with another scoop to the hoop. And he is.
Timeout time. They need to do something to slow this down.
2 for 2 in this half. Cudd puts it up on the run, gets fouled. And he got bumped off his trajectory, but just doesn't have the strength yet to get it all the way to the cup when there's contact.
He likes to bring the ball down to his waist a little bit too much.
Lead has jumped to 12 for the Chiefs. And Cudd is just 1 for 3 at the line after I gave him all that love. He has been a better than average free throw shooter on the year. And he's 2 for 4 now. But they need field goals, not free throws.
Nice press by Socastee.
And it's batted out of bounds. Last touched by Tyler Rayner. Bennett's going to inbound sideline right. Braves press full court. Looking to slap on the trap, but North Myrtle Beach breaks it. Now it's an opening to the hole. Underneath, Livingston with a reverse layup.
Oh, he is tough, inside and out.
The lead is 13, the biggest advantage by either squad.
Coach Scott letting them play.
Yep. Socastee won the first matchup between these two teams, but Livingston did not play. Livingston has 10 points now in the ball game.
And Alan, you notice how Livingston is pushing Cudd out of that lane area, and it's getting about 15 or 10 feet outside.
They list Livingston at 6'5". I think he's closer to 6'7".
Yeah, he's got some length on him. Very athletic, 6'7".
Absolutely. Can play inside or out. 5:45, third quarter action. Hemingway. Inbounding. Underneath. Aeneas Green hangs and fires with a right hand and gets the roll. Little teardrop kiss off the backboard, and he steal by Jenneret. He scoops it up, and the Braves have scored back-to-back field goals now.
Here we go, Sockasty with that press.
Lead down to 9, but it's a 3-on-1 break. Livingston, another reverse layup, uses the rim as a defender, keeping the big man off of him. And that's the second one of those in a row by Livingston, and he fouls hard. Whistle was before the block shot and foul underneath.
Yeah, I think they just got tangled up. There was no malicious intent.
The foul was before the attempt. Trying to force feed Cudd. Livingston got a elbow in the back. Aeneas Green steps inside the center circle. Gives it to Cudd. Cudd wasn't ready for that one. You got to have your hands up and ready.
Good look.
Livingston for 3. Too strong. Cudd outlets 2-on-1. And Hemingway loses it, but good hustle by Maurice Finch to rake that one out of bounds.
Just a second too late. Got to get it back and forth on that. Sockasty just can't catch a break tonight. They can't get anything rolling.
They do seem a step slow and on the reaction time.
And that's a credit to North Myrtle Beach and that defense they're playing.
They are hustling on both ends, are the Chiefs. All the way out front, Mike Gore and Kevleek Bennett cut off the drive by Rayner. And then Hagan calls the reach-in foul against North Myrtle. It's 5-0 in the foul department here in the third quarter. Najee, far side, Bennett inside, back outside. Well, you got to get that ball in there. You got to get it up to the rim. Now breakaway for North Myrtle, layup good. Lead is back to double digits.
They're running the floor.
All the way to the cup. Well,
the track meet now.
One way to get it there. Cudd just kind of bumped his man out of the way, and Cameron Kaler wants a timeout.
So they put Andrew Gardner back in the basketball game, and you got to wonder if something's going on there.
Yeah, I think it's just, this is a lesson for Gardner that, your minutes will be dictated by your aggressiveness, listening, being able to implement what the coaching staff wants, and that's just something that Gardner's not been the best at in the early going.
Well, what better way to do that than a non-region game here? You got the region coming up Tuesday at Conway, or against Conway, and you learn your lesson right now. Well, if there's a lesson, don't know that there is.
Well, Region 6 4A is going to be tough this year. Obviously, Sumter is the defending state champion. They're ranked in the top 10. Conway's at number 6. West Florence is number 2 in the state this week, and that's a rarity to see 3 teams out of this region ranked in the top 10 in the state. So, and South Florence, I promise you, not going to be difficult. And you know that with Dwayne Moss, the Carolina Forest squad will be heard from.
Well, anytime you got to travel to a 6-4A school, it's tough to play in the other arena.
Halfway through the third quarter, and the lead is 13. Actually, it's 11 now. And going all the way to the bucket for a second straight time, but this time he's not paid off, was Jeanneret. Last time nobody picked him up. At least that time he had a little bit of interference.
And Jason Cudd, you got to think, if you're 7-1, you're not going to get a break. It's going to be against you every time.
And baseline pass, two-pointer on the way, went down in the hole and spit back out. But Livingston tries to clean it up, and then North Myrtle Beach loses the ball on the baseline. So you're right, Socasty's not getting any breaks here, but the Chiefs are causing most of the Braves' distress, except for errant shots like that.
You got to think it's only the third quarter. There's a lot of possessions. You cut it to 5, maybe even 7. Going into the fourth quarter, you got a chance.
No doubt. Up top. Mike Gore. Whistle on the play. Coach Kaler wants the bucket to count, but I don't think they're going to give it to him. Foul was on Kendrell Jeanneret. Lead still 11. Socastee has made a couple of spurts, but nothing they've been able to sustain.
As soon as they would go, then North Myrtle Beach end the run quick.
Nice underhand pass, threaded the needle, but Andrew Gardner stole it. Then he feeds Hemingway, who double pumps a shot off the glass.
Nice distribution of the basketball there for Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner does look for his teammates. Lead to single digits. All the way to the bucket, but a foul before the shot. Najee Foster, excuse me. Najee picks up the personal. And North Myrtle Beach has it back on offense. Here's another open three. Count it! By Jason Hager. Yeah, you think somebody put a hand in his face. He's made 3 out of 4 from out there tonight.
Well, Allen, he was so far back, they kind of he let him off a little bit.
Hager likes shooting in the home gym, that's for sure.
I mean, it's just been an assault of 3-pointers for North Myrtle Beach.
46-34, and Gardner does not connect on the front end of a 2-shot foul. Second one on the way, and it's good. Substitution for the Chiefs. Chris Johnson back in the ball game, second leading scorer for the home squad. But it's still hanging around an 11-point lead. Outside, Chris Johnson. Johnson to the bucket. Foul in the open floor.
And Najee Foster, he's not moving his feet. He's trying to slap away at it. They're going to call a foul on that every time.
Corner dribble. And now whistles coming on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. I want you to call it the same all the way through. Sometimes towards the end of the game or in the second half, they kind of get a little touchy.
Yeah, the Chiefs are forcing the whistles, though. I mean, they're forcing the play. They're getting it up into the paint. And the Braves are trying to keep them away from the basket. There's a long three that was kind of partially blocked, almost banked in again, just like the first half from the wing.
Look how far that's to start their offense, way up here.
Good job by the Chiefs, guarding closely. And again, it was a good idea by Jeanneret, but you got to get it up there for the big fella.
And watching Mount Bird and some of those beach ball classes, they throw it at the rim, and those big 7-footers go get it.
They force feed it to Cudd this time. He gets double teamed. Back outside for Aeneas Green's three. Is off the mark, and it's Hager with the rebound.
And Socrates one and done on the offensive glass.
Yep. They're getting the big men away from the bucket like they did right there, but Gardner got it blocked anyway. They foul Gardner, but no whistle, and then Hemingway misses the bunny.
Coach Scott can't believe it over there on the sideline.
That was a gimme. He just shorthanded it, but at the other end, they don't. It's Maurice Finch. Inside a minute to play. The lead is back to 13. Braves just not getting it up there on the rim enough, and Jason Cudd with the tip in. But everything, even from right underneath the basket, has been short for Socastee.
Yeah, it's a battle every time they throw it up there.
It really is.
They're hoping it goes in.
Down to a half minute. To the hole. Blocked shot. That's the third of the ball game for Jason Cudd. Looking for, well, Hemingway wasn't looking across the floor. He had a wide open Jenrette. Jenrette screaming for it. He was wide open in the corner. See, that's what I'm talking about. Hemingway has got to be the facilitator.
He's locked in.
He's not a facilitator. He's got to be that. And Cudd fights for it. Hemingway comes down with it, and the foul's committed by North Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that was a very athletic play by Hemingway, but you're right. He either focuses in down low or focuses in on the perimeter. There's no deviation from that.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't see the floor well enough. He's only a sophomore. Same way with Gardner. They'll learn as they get older, but you kind of hope with their talent that it'll come sooner rather than later.
And you got a young man on the coaching staff, Alvin Green,
Yep.
who's a great facilitator.
Great
for Socastee.
facilitator. Maybe the best that they've ever had. And another point guard who also works here at North Myrtle Beach that did that for the Braves, Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith also works here at North Myrtle Beach for Trevor Strouderman. He works with the special needs kids. And free throws missed, but Hemingway. See, Hemingway's, now again, he throws one up at the buzzer. Off balance, didn't know how much time was left, and the Braves are down by 11. They were only down 6 at the half, and in the last 8 minutes, that lead has grown to double digits. We'll be back in a moment. Back at North Myrtle Beach, courtside. The Chiefs Gymnasium, home team with the lead and the ball to start the fourth quarter. Up by 11. Socastee needs a sustained run. They've not been able to put 3 buckets together in a row. And that guy has, though. Almost gets another one, but Livingston yanks it away from Hemingway. But a tie-up before, as both had possession of the basketball, and it alternates to the Braves.
But just when you think Socastee's coming back, North Myrtle Beach answers, so Socastee's got to have a little run here.
Well, that'll do it, but Jason Cudd, again, Cudd wanted a foul, but I don't think it was enough to toot one up there, but foul on Cudd as he went after the loose ball.
And it seems like he's just throwing it up there. He's got to get his composure.
He's getting frustrated that everything's not going in for him. And the Chiefs are getting away with, little bump here, little bump there. Livingston very short on the 3, but it's an offensive board and put back for Maurice Finch. Right place at the right time, and he quickly got it right back up to the bucket.
Maybe the shortest guy on the floor.
Yep. And Cudd just doesn't move quick enough. He moves well, but not quick.
And Maurice Finch, I want you to watch him when he's guarding his guy. He's just smiling at him, laughing at him, almost just trying to dare him to do something.
Hager's called for the foul. Just his second. The Braves in the 1-and-1. He'll get the bonus as he rips the cords on the front end. Line drive. Tickles the twine again. So it's 11 points still. That's where it's been over the last 15 minutes or so.
And North Myrtle Beach is just maintaining the game.
Right. They've not been able to get it down inside inside the double-digit mark. Outside, Hager. Pump, up, and it's partially blocked. Najee knew the man was behind him. Gardner goes to the hole with the left hand, missed it. Everything has been short for Socastee. But I like the aggressive move to the basket. Post entry, underneath, blocked by Gardner again. That's his third. Lead pass. Jeanneret loses it. And that's been kind of a microcosm of what's happened to the Braves tonight.
That's exactly what's been going on with Socastee. They have a chance to get a little run going, and they missed the easy one.
Can't finish. That has been a theme of the night for Socastee. No finish.
And North Myrtle Beach is letting them hang around a little bit. They're not blowing them out.
They're giving them every opportunity. There's no question about that. Now Coach Kaler will have his guys use a little clock, but another turnover.
They got to score here.
3 in a row. High off the window, missed everything. High off the window again, but this one does go down and one.
Big for Socastee. I like the way they hustled down the court to get that offensive rebound.
Yeah, Kendrell Jeanneret has been begging for the ball tonight. He's been one of the few bright spots for the Braves tonight.
And he's starting to get management.
Yeah. And Cud's going to take a seat. And if Jeanneret knocks this in, 3-possession ball game. And Hemingway with an offensive board and a stick back. So a 4-point trip. Down to 7. Hemingway with a big offensive rebound. And a nice pass right there. No look to Livingston. Beautiful feed by Mike Gore. Aeneas Green called for the foul.
And when Livingston gets the basketball, he is 1 or 2 steps ahead of what he's going to do. He has a great idea and the wherewithal to know what he's going to do when he gets the basketball.
Hager's been big for the Chiefs tonight. He checks out. Chiefs 2-8 on the year. Braves 6-7. Right now, Chiefs, after playing well at Conway last night, looking for Hemingway's been big on the backboards. It was Jeanneret. Socastee won on Tuesday night at Waccamaw. The Chiefs fall to Conway last night, but not before the Tigers had to make foul shots down the stretch to secure it. It was a 3-point ball game with about a minute to play.
Yeah, and I don't want the listeners or you to take this wrong, but I think right now Socastee is better off with Cud on the bench with the way they're running around. They're not watching to see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
They're taking it upon themselves to pass the ball and play better basketball. Now, that's not saying I wouldn't want Cud on the basketball floor. I would, but right now in this situation, I think they're running and Cud kind of gets in the way when they're doing that.
And you don't have to try to force feed him as much. And if Foster knocks this down, it's a 2-possession ball game. And he gets the roll.
And after
6
all that,
points.
sorry to interrupt you.
No.
After all that, only 6 points.
Yeah, the Chiefs led by as many as 14 in the third quarter. It hovered around 13 and 11 for much of the quarter and here in the fourth quarter, but we're approaching the halfway mark of the final period, and the Braves are back to within 2 spots. Good double team. Got away with a walk and a steal by Socastee. Bounce pass. Foster got fouled. No whistle. Livingston comes down with it. Outlets. North Myrtle. Braves could have got it to 4, but Livingston missed Well, it hits the front end of the cup, but Gardner stutter steps to the hole, got the shooter's roll. It's down to 4.
North Myrtle Beach has got to slow it down or call a timeout.
And Cameron Kaler wants a timeout, full timeout, and just like the first half, big runs by both teams have, made the 6-point lead a 13-point lead for North Myrtle Beach in the third, and now here in the fourth quarter, Socastee with exactly 4 minutes to play, trying to make a late charge.
Well, Socastee is tightening the screws on defense. They're getting points off of steals, off of blocks, off of bad shots. North Myrtle Beach is doing stuff they haven't been doing the whole game. They're trying to pass around instead of just attacking the basketball. And right now, Socastee is in the catbird seat. They're running and got a little run going. We talked about them not having a run. This is it. And it looks only 4 points down with 4 minutes left. Going to be a good finish.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't finishing their drives to the hole like they were in the third period. And now the Chiefs will have it back off the timeout. Halfway through the final quarter. There's double team out front. They get it to Finch.
Socastee looks more energized on defense.
And now North Myrtle Beach trying to take some air out of it. Running a little four corners offense to give that an opportunity, and it goes down for Maurice Finch. Now, this is not an all-out stall by any stretch because you just saw Finch drive the bucket and lay it in, and we got a technical foul against Chris Johnson. Oh, a delay of game warning against Johnson. He must have batted the ball as it came through the bucket. Yep. Can't touch it after it goes through the hole.
They made that bigger than it looked like it was.
Exactly. And the Chiefs now going to force the action on defense. Hemingway, he has really come alive here in the last couple of minutes. Lead is 4 again, but this four corners spread the defense out and open up a lane to the hole. It worked a moment ago. It doesn't this time, but Livingston cleans up the mess.
Got to put a body on him.
Yep, got to keep him off the backboard, especially with Cut out of the game. Foster misses the shot. North, after the timeout, comes back out with renewed vigor. Livingston puts a body on Gardner, but the ball is lost, picked up by North Myrtle Beach.
Hectic pace here at the end.
I think the Chiefs like it this way. And a reach-in foul on Najee Foster.
Yeah, I like the way they spread them out, and they use their quickness to their advantage and just dish and go.
They can pretty much get past anybody they want. But then if you allow them to get past you and they miss the shot, you can't give them a second. Hager replaces Bennett for the final 2:33. And Finch, who has been huge here in the second half for the Chiefs, continues to step up to the challenge.
Big free throws.
Indeed, because it was down to 4. Now it can go back to 8. They miss it. It is still a 3-possession game. Gardner is going to stop and pop from downtown, and he got it. Told you he can make it if he'll step into that 23-foot area rather than the 25, 26-foot area.
Foxy's all over him on defense.
And the reach-in fouls. 2 whistles at the same time, and it appears it's going to go on Najee Foster.
Almost a little extracurricular there with the elbow, but no harm, no foul.
Jeanneret thought it was going on him, but he said, I got it clean. 1 for 2 at the line a moment ago.
Got to make the front end of those 1 and 1.
Absolutely. It's a 5-point game, still going to be 3 regardless, or 2-possession game regardless.
Like we said, there's plenty of time with 2 minutes left.
Absolutely. And Gardner looked at a three, decided not. Livingston saw he was loading the gun, so he came out to stop. And Hemingway almost had the conventional three-point opportunity. Ball spun out at the last second.
Marcus Hemingway, only a sophomore. Wow.
Yep. He's got the talent. I'm telling you, the two sophomores for the Braves, Gardner and Hemingway, are two of the better sophomores I've seen in this area in a while. But they just have the, it's something. They're missing something, and I think it's just experience right now.
It seems like Socastee is going to be one of those teams. The longer the season goes, midway, they're going to start getting better and better.
There's no question. They're getting better. They've gotten better since the first time I've seen them this year. They certainly, the beating they took in the beach ball is going to help them in the long run, but got to make foul shots, and they miss the front end, make the second. So it's 58-53, 5-point ball game. 30-second timeout. North Myrtle Beach will begin region play on Monday night at St. James.
The tomahawk chop for the Chiefs of the Braves. Who's the fourth?
I think we're in North Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I do believe we are. I didn't know if somebody hijacked it.
But the Braves will call it their own, I'm sure. And they're pressing full court man. Reach in. Foul on Aeneas Green. That's going to be number 9. So this will be the final one and the bonus opportunity for the Chiefs. Both teams are in the double bonus now. Finch has nailed the front end each time.
I like him. He's a tough defender. He does score when he has to, but defensively is where he
hangs on to the basketball. Doesn't give it up easily. And he's missed the back end again, but he gets it back. He's going to be fouled again, I believe. No, he converts. That might have done it right there. Makes it an 8-point ball game again. After making a foul shot, converting the miss. A quick bucket, though, by Jenrette. It's amazing how Finch keeps ending up with the basketball.
He has a nose for it.
Yep. Surprised they didn't foul him in the backcourt. Possessions are going to be huge now, but
Northmore trying to figure out who's guarding who there.
Yeah. Two shots from here on out for both teams. And Hager has been all but perfect tonight. I think he's missed one shot from the floor and from the line. Made 3 right at the end of the first half to make it a 6-point ball game. And he makes both here. Socastee can't trade baskets now. They've got to either hit threes or stop them on the defensive end. And that's going to count. Gardner off glass.
Wasn't the best shot that you'd want to take, but he's taking it upon himself right now.
Yeah, that was an acrobatic shot to say the least.
Let's go back to the end of the first half. There's 3 foul shots. How big is that right now in this basketball game?
Absolutely. I mean, and the three-point play is completed the old-fashioned way, and another timeout for DeAndre Scott of the 32nd variety.
You're looking at 63-61, one-possession game on a foul that it really shouldn't have happened. Not a good defensive play. But it's not real surprised, but the viewers may be surprised. Jason Cudd hadn't played since he's been taken out with the 4-minute mark.
Well, he kind of slows the offense down a little bit, and that's fine. I mean, you need to utilize that when he's in the ball game. But Braves right now have been good with Gardner as the point forward, if you will.
Yeah, he is a specimen.
But they've got to either get steals or create turnovers in some way. They can't just keep letting the Chiefs parade to the foul line because they've made them all. Or at least made enough to keep them. Now they got a steal. Threw it right to Gardner, and then Gardner gives it right back. And we got a timeout, I believe, for North Myrtle to keep possession.
But North Myrtle will have the possession.
Yeah, North Myrtle Beach is going to have possession, but Gardner couldn't hang on to it. And that goes back to the hustle that North Myrtle Beach has had all night long. When they give it up on one end, they never give up on the play.
Yeah, they make mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong, but they make up for them in just pure hustle.
And they've poked the ball out from behind at least 3 or 4 times after getting it stolen or throwing it away. They've come right back and not pouted about it and come up with steals on the other end.
Socrates is right there at the edge, about to turn the corner, and they pull the carrot away.
They've never been able to, get to the finish line and convert. They've had every opportunity. North Myrtle Beach has opened the door many, many times. The Braves just refuse to walk through.
Well, I would make sure, if I'm North Myrtle Beach, that Maurice Finch has the basketball in his hands, because the last turnover, of course, was made by Mike Gore, and Soxy would love that.
61 seconds left. Braves are going to have to foul now. And they get a steal. There's Foster up with it. Misses again. Right under the bucket. Foster has not been able to. He has missed every single shot he's taken under the basket, and the clock continue to run down to 44.7 seconds. I think John Hagan's going to put some time back on.
What educated fans we have over there. They caught it quick.
No, I looked up, and it was still running.
Well, you notice they got the ball to Fitch right there. And I mean, he's not going to give it up. Gore's having problems giving up 2 turnovers, last 2 possessions for him.
Yeah, they have turned it over twice, and the Braves could not convert on either one of them. Foster has struggled from right underneath the bucket.
And the North Myrtle Beach fans and cheerleaders may be a little quick on the na-na-na-nas here.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of time.
I thought when it got up to 8, it might be over, but they got to make foul shots, that's for sure. And they get the roll on the front end.
If you got a point guard that can run like him and make free throws, you got a chance in your region.
So Finch knocks in both foul shots. And an over and back violation on Sockasty. So they have shot themselves in the foot to the point where they're up to the ankle now.
That's just 2 young basketball players making a mistake, 2 sophomores.
And a miss, but a foul. And again, the clock continued to run. Tell us a home clock operator. And as we saw in the opening contest, the whistles have gotten a little tighter in the last couple of minutes.
But you can see it in a boys basketball contest where it can get, the tempers could flare at any moment when you get pushed like that, getting beat.
That was tipped up and in by Livingston off the miss, and he was behind the Brave, and that is just, it's a no-no. You cannot let that happen. And North Myrtle Beach not even allowing a shot. Ball ricocheted off of a Brave out of bounds, and we're in the last half minute. But it might take us a while to play this last half minute. And Livingston's tip may have capped it. A little surprised that he was able to get in and tap that ball over top of the defender, over the Braves' head. And he hits rim glass and net. Socastee is going to fall to 6-8 on the year, and North Myrtle Beach going to pick up their 3rd win of the season. Braves have not fared well against the rest of the Grand Strand as Hemingway tips in the miss, and DeAndre Scott calls timeout with 22 seconds. Braves have won against Myrtle Beach once, but they split. They've won here at North Myrtle Beach. Now that's against North Myrtle Beach at home. That's going to be a split. And they were swept in 3 outings against St. James.
Wow, 3 times losing to St. James. Now you're starting region play with a sour taste in your mouth.
Right.
Now what could Coach Scott be telling his team right now with 22 seconds? What could he be telling them?
Well, I think what I would be saying is, look, you had every opportunity. You really have nobody to blame but yourself. You got to look in the mirror before next Tuesday and decide, what can I do to help my teammates finish this off? Because North Myrtle Beach held it out there for him tonight.
Oh, they were trying to give it to him.
They held it out there for him, no question.
Socastee has 3 really good individual players. Now the key to this season is how they mesh in the next 4 weeks.
That's a good point. Very good point. How is this team going to come together as a unit rather than just be a bunch of talented basketball players? North Myrtle Beach, I think, has done that tonight. They have come together as a unit. Livingston, Hager, Finch, Johnson, Gore, all have played well. The Braves are going to let it run out now. And it's going to be a final of 70-60. North Myrtle Beach will split with the Braves on the year. So it wasn't a clean sweep as the girls were swept by North. They stopped it at 0.3 of a second. Now John Hagan says run it off. I think the ball hit the sideline and Trent Lupo blew the whistle, but they were going to let him run it out anyway. So final, North Myrtle Beach 70, Socastee 60. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with some final thoughts on our first HTC High School Basketball Game of the Week of 2016. Stay close.